One of the defining characteristics of all great bebop solos is their use of chromaticism. But chromaticism is one of the most difficult things to master. It's not enough to just aimlessly play a chromatic scale. You have to not only know where you are, but also where you want to go, and then how to land there on a strong beat. Then it can get even more confusing. Not all chromatic configurations sound good. To make things worse, even if you find a good configuration, due to the asymmetrical intervallic nature of a diatonic scale, you can't always apply this exact combination to every area of the scale. The amount of choices you can make, paired with the responsibility of doing it in all 12 keys, can be a bit overwhelming and can cause analysis paralysis. However, the good news is there is a viable solution to helping with this confusion. In 2018, Chad Lefkowitz Brown created a resource entitled 15 Approach Note and Enclosure Exercises for Jazz Musicians. Me and my friends bought this my junior year of undergrad, and I still have it here. You purchase it as a downloadable PDF, but I put mine in a binder because I'm a physical copy kind of guy. And to this day, I still return back to this resource. It's hands down my most favorite book for clear exercises in melodic chromaticism. Each of these exercises chromatically target all 7 scale tones of the major scale, creatively and melodically solving those asymmetrical issues. The most significant part of this book, in my opinion, is that each of these exercises just genuinely sound good to the ear. So for this video, let's go ahead and take a look at one of these 15 exercises, and let's really observe the creative problem solving that Chad displays to us. Alrighty, I've got it pulled up on my iPad here, as it is a downloadable PDF resource that you can get from the Jazz Lesson Videos website. And don't forget, you can use code Chromlogic for $5 off. So let's find an exercise that I've not worked on before, and let's learn it together and get the most we can out of it. When looking for new exercises, I like to sight read several before I choose one to dive deeply into. This helps me keep my ears as the main boss. I came across this one, and I really like how it sounds. What a cool exercise. So before I even understand what's going on, my ear already likes it, which I think is the most important thing. So I've determined that this exercise number 9 and closer exercise 3 is going to be the one that I focus deeply on for a while. Probably for the next several weeks. I'd much rather digest one permanently and deeply than to just scratch the surface on like 10 and then just forget them forever. So with that being said, let's actually take a look at what exactly is going on here. Within each exercise of this book, you'll notice that there's a pattern going on, intentional by Chad. Right off the bat, I noticed that if you split each bar in half, the first 4 notes are your enclosure, and the next 4 notes seem to be a strictly diatonic set of notes. This sort of scheme carries on through the entire exercise, even descending. So I'll start off with what's most obvious to me. On the second half of these measures, we have this shape 1, 2, 3, 5, carrying up every single step of the scale. Then when we descend, we have the same thing, but rather than going to a 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, we're going to go back to the note it started on. So 1, 2, 3, 1. Now let's take a look at those other eighth notes. We have a 4-note enclosure happening, but as you can see, not all of them are strictly the same set of intervals. If you look at the first measure, those first 2 notes are a whole step. The next measure, those first 2 notes are a half step. Same is true with the next measure. And then the next measure, the first 2 are whole steps. So how does this sound so good, yet there are these slight differences going on? Well, I see a clue here. If you look at the first note of each of these measures, it's going up in a scale. The first note starts on a 3rd of C major, and then it just goes up diatonic steps. So this beat 1 in beat 3 seems to actually be ascending thirds, just starting on the upper note first. Then if we look at the next 3 notes, we actually have a pretty uniform pattern here. We stick to the same interval set in each enclosure within this exercise. It is a purely chromatic enclosure, 2 steps above, 1 step below. And if we take a look at the second half of each measure, we do 1, 2, 3, 5, and then go down 1 scale step. Whereas when we descend, we do 1, 2, 3, 1, and then go up 1 scale step. So a lot of things are happening all harmoniously at the same time. That's probably why this exercise sounds so pleasant to our ear. It's no wonder. That is the very reason why I trust the ear above all. It knew this before I did. But wow, what a clever exercise. We just learned some cool theoretical techniques. So now that anytime we encounter anything like this in a future listening experience, we'll probably be more familiar with what's happening. However, for my own playing, I can have all the theory knowledge in the world, but none of it is ever going to come out if I can't actually play it on my horn. So now I'm going to take some time to treat this as purely a technique exercise. I'm not going to think of harmony, application, improvisation, none of that yet. Just purely saxophone. Are my fingers even? Am I getting some good dexterity? Is everything relatively in tune? Are my tongue and fingers aligned? Like Bob Reynolds references, how does the geometry in the fingers feel? Okay, so I'm going to grind this out and play this in 16th notes at 80 beats per minute. Then I'm going to do it again in a couple of other more difficult keys. Here it is in C. Feels pretty good. There's some areas that were harder than others, but I feel like I've conquered them for now. Now I'm going to work on it in E flat. All right, E flat at 80. So that one felt really interesting, a lot different than C. My left hand pinky was a lot more active in that one, and my right hand felt generally pretty relaxed. I would honestly say C was harder in the fingers, but E flat was harder mentally just because, you know, E flat, C. Now I'm gonna try one more key. Let me really push myself. Let me try F sharp. All right, now F sharp at 80. Alright, my chops are already feeling the burn. So that one was really interesting and really forced me to make some decisions about that A sharp. Should I use side here? Should I use biz here? Whoa. Some people always use biz. I have a classical background, so I'm really used to that side A sharp. I'm a creature of habit. Now, for the most crucial part, in my opinion, to ensure that I did not just do all this for nothing, I'm going to learn to sing these. This will help strengthen my ears so that when I hear chromaticism in a feature solo, I'll be able to transcribe it more accurately and quickly. And when I watch a jazz concert live, my ears will be able to recognize more of what's going on in the moment. So I'm going to turn on the drone and sing each of these pitches as honestly as I can till I have it fully memorized. Alrighty, I'm not the best singer, but this was still a very productive practice session. I'm going to keep revisiting this exercise till it's fully internalized in all 12 keys, retrieved purely from my own oral memory. But it's just not going to happen in one day. Till then, I'll keep revisiting this book to make sure I'm not practicing anything inaccurately. And again, you can find this resource on the Jazz Lesson Videos website, found in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, leave a like and subscribe to help this channel out, as well as comment below what might you want to see from this channel in the future. I'll see you next time.